My style's very spontaneous, so it's sort of build up of textures and layers, and each painting I never quite know what's going to happen with, so it might take a week or it might take a couple of hours depending on how the layers build up, and I generally start with a rough sketch in pencil and sort of build on that. And it might be that there are sort of several paintings on top of each other, it's not always just one painting there. I tend to work on the floor rather than on easel, so I can pick the canvas up and sort of move the paint around, so there's a lot of fluid sort of movement in the paintings, but also to contrast that, a lot of texture, so I very often use knives and rulers and get the first coats on with a paintbrush, but then start using sort of palette knives, kitchen knives, whatever I can find really to get the textures. I'm a big fan of a guy called John Virtue, who paints black and white landscapes, uses huge light and texture studies to do massive paintings of landscapes, cities. Turner's an obvious one, just for his contrast. Anyone that really uses the landscape and texture as their sort of subject. But we talk a lot about paints in the studio because I'm in quite a big studio complex, and people have spoken of the colour improvement and the various new qualities of it. And I'd also seen sort of adverts in the shop for it, and so I tried it, and it was different, true to form. I'm using flow improver a lot, so when I'm painting on the floor and lifting it up, it really goes fast across the canvas and you get some lovely sort of edge effects as it dries, and it's great paint mixing, so you end up with a very good pure white. I use a lot on that. So, and then gloss mediums I've been using over the top to build up a bit of texture in the sky. The modelling paste is brilliant for building up some really thick layers, sort of in the base of the painting, and I tend to get thinner as we work up towards the sky. So all useful in their various different respects. I've been using it for about 3 months. So I think my paintings have changed since then, and I've sort of got a new drive to experiment more now with the mediums as well, which is exciting. I think the more sort of tools you have available to you, the more textures you're able to get. I've just been very excited by the way the colours don't change. I think when you mix them with the colours, there's always this kind of the confidence of knowing that they're going to stay the same throughout the painting, and especially with the matte paste, because it very often looks quite gloopy or sort of, before you start applying it, but then once you've mixed it with the paint and put it on, it really works and dries exactly the same colour as everything else. And the same with the flow improver, just mixing it and being able to pour it on knowing that it's going to dry consistently is really useful.